What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
iann, lo imnida. I'm Keith.
I'm Curtis.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Adrienne Uzumaki.
I'm Jerry.
Shut the fuck up.
Y'all know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all know why y'all here. TXT is the fuck back. With Andy, you're my fucking guy. How did they? What happened? How did they know each other? Let us know in the comments. Yeah. No long talk, man. I love dior. I love TXT. Let's jump into this. Key.
Okay.
I hate people, yo.
I'm already mad at life.
I'm walking through the valley of lies. I see a coffin, perfect fit for my size. They
Damn,
won't
Stark.
open.
Saying like downloaded.
I'm hurting, and I lost my heart in the sky. Taking trips down uncharted roads, them very lonely roads, looking for a pot to go. Your love was not enough. It don't make no sense to me. And now you're begging, please remember you was hurting me. We'll keep
That energy.
I've been waiting, knowing you won't show up. Don't make no sense. I'm not giving. I'm walking through the valley of lies. I see a coffin, perfect fit for my size. They won't open. Got superstition in my heart. I'm hurting, and I lost my heart in the sky. On and on and on, keep fighting on again. Now things are getting rough. I never thought you'd be a lesson. Go, you go, you go. How come I never see ya? I'm really getting close to giving up. I
Love this on Macy's Love
lies, no one is falling down. You won't believe it's all from my eyes. Thought you're the one. You turn and travel. Yeah, the lies. After all, you knew that we would end up this way. I never knew my love would turn gray. All my memories in my head. It's time to bury them away. Right deep inside the valley. It's gonna be okay. Hey. I'm walking through the valley of lies. I see a coffin, perfect fit for my size. They won't open. Got silky stitch in my eye. I'm hurting, and I lost my heart in the sky. On and on and on, keep fighting on again. Now things are getting rough. I never thought you'd be a lesson.
The fucking day.
Me saying nah, it's just a new comeback, bro. I fuck with this joint, man. If you're not familiar with like dior's kind of music, it's kind of like angsty rock rap with melodic, cadences and everything. So this is pretty much like in his wheelhouse. This was, if people don't like that acquired taste, I definitely can get how maybe you aren't feeling this particular kind of music. We was talking and was saying this shit probably gonna be a hot topic in a couple other places. But I really like this a lot, man.
Get out of my room, Samantha.
Get out of my fucking room, mom. Shot. Get out of my room, mom.
We said before I get that gun.
Before I get that gun and shoot your ass.
Get out of my room, Samantha.
Get out of my room, Samantha.
Get that gun and shoot your ass.
Future Dick. But nah, this was fire, and this is more along the lines of some of the collabs we were talking about, because he's more of a new school like artist and stuff, pairing up with TXT. This is fire. How y'all feel about the collab?
I like this a lot. The chorus was really catchy. It was something about it. Like, I don't think y'all noticed that, like, halfway through the video, Shy, like, lit the L. I mean, Mary Jane lit the L. And that was like you could definitely smoke to this, John. Like, put this on blast, light the L, and just vibe out. I like this a lot, yo.
So I was like, I was around when he mentioned that coffin. Throw me in that bitch. I'm in there now.
I felt that.
I'm in that coffin now.
Throw the dirt on me.
That's funny.
Yeah, making a 5'5" Joel.
5'3".
I think I might download this.
I'm trying to give you leg room.
You need leg room for the room for the bun.
Room for the butt.
That's gonna be leg. It's gonna be a little long.
Oh, okay.
No, I definitely gotta agree with you guys. This was a vibe. Oh, you downloaded it. This was a vibe. I do listen to iann Dior, his music. I have a lot of songs with him downloaded. Yeah, this is just right up my alley. It was, you know, a simple, solid, cool video. I feel like that when I'm getting high all the fucking time. You know what I mean?
They get to the
Going up.
clouds.
Yeah, so this song is perfect for the smokers, especially if you're depressed.
Oh, way to slide that in there.
But I like this. This is cool. It was different. Want to hear more?
Aren't we all a little depressed? That's right, right?
Yep.
This heat is depressing.
Yeah, it feels good.
I
This
don't know. I've been into my
was a
16
banger.
degree
Matter of
air
fact,
conditioner all week.
Future Nick, just rewind to the beginning when I said this was a banger. I saw iann Dior. I knew it was gonna bang. Big fan of his music. You know, the pop rock, the sad, angsty pop rock. You know, him, 347 Aiden, the Kid Leroys. They got that interesting, angsty, singing, poppy sound. Depression, like it's like depression pop.
Yeah.
Depression pop.
That's
Yep.
an oxymoron.
Which is beautiful.
But it makes
so.
sense. That's really bro. Like depression pop.
It's
I've never
dope.
heard him happy on a track, yo.
I enjoyed it. Maybe like on features.
Maybe
I'm-
on mood.
Yeah, I've heard him on. Yeah, like I've heard him.
That's
kinda
like
be
sad happiness.
Kind of okay, but overall, great song. I downloaded it. Definitely gonna smoke to it. Getting my feelings while I listen to it. All that type of stuff. Survive, man. You know, it's just one of those songs that just hits. You know, it's you know that there's a moment in your day that you can listen to this. Like Mary Jane said, especially if you're depressed. It's dope. The visualizer was dope too, you know. It was fun to look at, kind of made sense with the whole video and all that. I want to listen to it again. The hook was catchy. Everybody snapped with their verses, you know. No lacking.
Yeah. So Lil, why'd you hate this?
Say nah. He was like, well, if you want me to really tell you.
Trying to get the blood flowing, guys. It's late. It's like, don't you do this to me?
Nah, I say what I gotta say. I don't hate anything. I'll start with it good. From the production standpoint, this is definitely a nice, tranquil type of vibe that I can get into. I listen to stuff like this all the time. From the like hokey kind of drums and guitar, it kind of reminds me of Coldplay, but the melodies that he was using definitely is kind of like a Kid Cudi type of vibe, which I can only listen to in doses. I'm not really into like the depression pop or whatever that shit was y'all named it. That's not for me. Well, not this time.
It's really,
like I
whatever that
said,
shit is your name.
Yeah.
Whatever that shit is your name.
yeah, that's not necessarily like something I'm going to listen to frequently. It may be a moment where I listen to it, like just like Juice WRLD. Like I didn't listen to him frequently, but I listened to like a song here and there. I expected a little bit more on TXT's end. I knew what I was gonna get from Bull, but from TXT I kind of expected a little bit more. The visualizer was cool.
What do you mean by that?
I expected more from like what I've gotten from TXT, just how I've heard them employ their vocals before, and just even on the song, just kind of do different things. They kind of sounded just like him when they came on. If this track was released and they was like, it's just iann Dior, I would have been like, oh, okay. So that's what I mean. Like
I'm
nothing.
surprised. I almost went into this, bro, knowing that they was gonna match this sound.
Nothing from them stood out though. Is what I'm saying. Like it's one thing to match somebody or blend in with somebody's sound, but to completely like jump in to the point where I couldn't tell if somebody would, like I said, if someone was just like this iann dior or whatever like that, and not nobody else, I would have been like, oh, okay. But like I said, it's not all bad. It's not horrible or anything like that. It's just not anything I'm going to listen to. Yeah, so Lil didn't hate it.
I thought the video was interesting. Even though the art style is a little different, it kind of reminds me of Make It Right a little bit with the animatedness, even though that's more of a full story going panel to panel, as opposed to just kind of just a follow through walkabout. I thought the lyrics were, I don't want to say like generically breakup lyrics, but the metaphors were kind of like hard to miss. Wasn't very creative in that fact, but I don't think that was the point, to be like that, overly, complicated. More so just get the point across. You either vibe with it or you don't. It's more so how you feel when you listen to the song. I thought it was cool. This is not necessarily like my wheelhouse, but in the same token, because I never really was a big Juice WRLD fan either. Never really. It's not even that I wasn't a fan. I just never really listened to him until he like passed away. It wasn't my thing. But all in all, I mean, this was cool. It didn't necessarily sound like TXT. I will agree to that. And I was kind of waiting for a distinguishing sound between the two, but I didn't get it. And I understand, like, that's the way the song is kind of flowing. I get it, but
I know exactly when they came in, though. I'm not saying that you're not saying that, but I definitely knew.
I think the second verse, right? But like, it wasn't.
I'm not saying you're not saying.
Right. But it wasn't like almost like when we listened to the loud BTS joint. Who are you? There was nothing BTS about the BTS parts of that song. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was just, oh, okay, well, it sounded like they just handed you verses and you just sang it in your voice.
I think that's just something that's very hype-centric as well, though. Like BTS on the Coldplay joint. Mm-hmm. It was pretty much like, when they do some of these features, they just match energy of the artist as opposed to trying to turn it into their own song. I'm not sure if culturally, if that's just them trying to be respectful or just trying to vibe with artists, as opposed to really in America, you got some people who would take someone's shit and it's their song now.
That's real though. But I don't think there's much of a competition between artists when they're in a booth as it is when they're there. They just want to make good music. It's not necessarily, my verse has got to be way better than yours, or my style has to shine way more than yours on a certain song. Mm-hmm. And that might be a lot of it as well, especially coming from the same like major camp. But I mean, all in all, I thought this was dope. It just sounds like in the beginning, that was the only discrepancy. Like in the beginning, it sounded like he was done, like he was done. Mm-hmm. But in the end, it's like, oh well, maybe I'm not as done as I thought I was. Mm-hmm. But all through the song, it was kind of given I'm done. But it was a good track.
Yeah, it's funny. It was on this Type Time too. Me and Lo, we had a conversation off camera about Machine Gun Kelly. Remember? And I was telling him just like, yeah, he on this Type Time now and shit like that. And that's kind of yeah. He on songs with Travis Barker doing the like drums and shit like that. I think he won.
That making good kind of. But Erykah Badu them, bruh.
But yeah, I like that sound, that grungy pop rock with depression music and stuff like that. I will agree with y'all that like I think it is better in spurts. It's not like I'm trying to listen to 20 straight tracks of like I don't want to wake up. Like
I must be really depressed though.
Yeah, like that's just like all right. I gotta insert something else into the mix.
I personally can listen to all day of these type of songs.
We know.
I guarantee your playlist is set up though where they don't sound the same. Like you probably got enough.
I really got a mix.
You have a mix where it's like high octane depression music, somber, a ballad.
I got rap songs that's literally like depression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I really just enjoyed what he was saying in this. I'm sorry, you didn't talk yet.
No.
you know, I really was just enjoying what he was saying in the video. I just love when you're talking about, you know, depression or whatever you're going through, heartbreak, you know what I mean? And you really say something, if that makes sense. Like, I felt like I knew what you're going through, or I felt like, you know what I mean, feel you on it, if that makes sense. I don't know.
I definitely get it, man. And like you said with the whole Juice WRLD thing, Lucid Dreams, that's kind of one of my favorite depression pop songs like ever to me. But it's like, more of a high octane version.
But like I said, even though I didn't listen to him like that. When you hear that song,
wrote that when he was 16.
If you've ever been in a breakup, that automatically hits. It's kind of like somebody who doesn't like R&B, but you hear So Sick. I don't give a fuck of what you listen to. That shit hits. Mm-hmm. Just certain things hit. You know what I mean? And then, you know, this is one of those tracks where if you've ever been through anything, if you ever felt like shit or somebody made you feel like shit in a relationship, this is your theme song, low key.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt? Yeah, this was really solid, honestly. I personally hadn't heard or knowingly heard of the other artist, Ian Dior, I believe you said his name was.
I keep calling him Ian Black.
But he absolutely, you know, crushed this. I definitely like the vibe and the register everything was in. It definitely did kind of feel a little bit like Juice WRLD in that sense, or like similarities too, as far as like what I would be able to listen to and kind of like identify within like his sound or the subject matter of his voice and everything like that. But I thought he crushed it within this for sure. I did like, you know, I mean, the bars kind of immediately came out depressing and like, you know, for lack of a better term, basically punched you in the face. As far as like the, you know, the coffin and everything like that, like just kind of, it wasn't anything that was like built to, like you're kind of in that from the get-go, but of course it's in the vein of, you know, being depressed after like a heartbreak or something like that. But the only thing I really will say musically wise, I did like the production and everything behind it as well. It wasn't so much a TXT sound for me that was kind of distinguishing for me. I just wish they had more of a length of a presence in the track. Granted, yes, they did have a verse and it's like a 2-verse kind of thing, but you know, for there being as many members in TXT, and I know it's like a feature thing, especially with Western artists and things of that nature, but I do wish that there was a little bit more of a stamp that they were able to experiment with within that, because I think that's, you know, within the subject matter of their music, I think that's something I really would have liked to see them kind of touch on music-wise and everything, but all in all, the track was really solid, and definitely something that I would say is a download for me at least. And in the vein of the video, I thought the video was handled really well in the sense that it's you kind of have them starting off in like a relatively green, calming, welcoming sort of environment, but the subject matter is immediately the depressing, for lack of a better term, almost like wanting to die kind of bars. But the thing that's interesting about that is kind of you're juxtaposing that as though like if you were just to kind of see that person walking, they're just in like a normal setting, but when the subject matter of the lyrics is all depressing, it's kind of like essentially they look normal on the outside, but it's the inner war, the Armageddon, as we see in the video, that they're going through on the inside as they're, you know, going throughout their day. So I thought that was handled really well as far as, you know, the subtext conveyed within that. And then the sense I did like as well that they kind of had the one moment during the Ladder of the Desert sequence where he does walk by the girl and she kind of tries to seemingly like greet him and he just like brushes her off and keeps walking because he's the subject matter of the Valley of Lies and everything. You're in that dark, desolate kind of you know, rocky, I guess, sort of tundra for lack of a better term. But I thought that they conveyed that really well with the visuals and the fact of they juxtapose kind of between like the heart being lost in the clouds, like or lost in the sky rather, because your head's kind of in the clouds, like because of, you know, you're kind of so caught up in the love that when everything kind of crashes back down, you're in a literal valley. So I just thought they kind of played on the nature wordplay of that very well. But all in all, very solid song for sure. I just wish there was a little bit more TXT in it.
Yeah, anybody else have anything they want to add? Yeah, man, I like this song a lot, man. What I will say also about TXT is that they're not afraid to do different sounds or do anything. I know some of y'all, you know, might have looked at this like they didn't really put their stamp on it. Me personally, I just looked at it like they just did a sound that not other people in K-pop haven't done, but at this point they have an infinity gauntlet with all different sounds that they have done. And this is just to add on to the collection of shit that they've like kind of already done with their short career. So yeah, I'm excited to hear more stuff. I know some B-sides on the album we didn't jump into yet too, and other new stuff that they dropped. So yeah.
What's an infinity gauntlet?
If you know, you know. Like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Redeemers. Let us know what other TXT tracks you want us to get into. Also, tell us how you feel about this track. Other than that, we love you guys. So definitely going to holla at y'all.
Take care.